Viewers, the Election Commission of India has issued instructions for holding a special intensive revision or an SIR in the poll-bound Bihar. This is as far as the voter lists are concerned. This in effect means that voter rolls will be prepared afresh ahead of Bihar elections, which are due later this year. This move has kicked up a political storm from Bihar to West Bengal, which is also slated to go to the polls next year. Opposition has raised questions on the Election Commission's intention, asking why has this instruction been issued just months before the Bihar polls. They also say that this move risks willful exclusion of voters with the using of the state machinery. West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee's expressed apprehensions over Election Commission's guidelines, saying it might be implemented in Bengal ahead of assembly polls in 2026. Mamata has alleged that this is an attempt to bring NRC through the back door and has urged all opposition parties to unitedly resist what she calls a quote-unquote dangerous game.
The poor people, especially the hawkers, bakers, or the poor people commoners, where they'll get the mother certificate, the father certificate? Is it NRC? Is it they are doing or working to establish the NRC? What is their intention?
Remember, the poll panel has issued directive for roll revision based on Section 21(3) of the Representation of People Act 1950. It states, and I quote, the Election Commission may at any time direct a special revision of the electoral roll for any constituency or part of a constituency in such manner as it may think fit. But here's why such an exercise is required. The intensive revision is done to ensure that names of all eligible citizens are included in the electoral roll so as to enable them to exercise their franchise, ensure that no ineligible voters included in the electoral rolls, and also to introduce complete transparency in the process of addition or deletion of voters. Now, the last intensive revision for Bihar was conducted by the Commission in the year 2003. Rapid urbanization, frequent migration, and young citizens becoming eligible to vote also necessitates such an exercise, says the Commission. However, opposition's doubting both the intention and the timing of the move. RJD and Congress have backed Mamata's claim to allege that there was an attempt to tamper with democracy and the Constitution. BJP, on the other hand, said whatever EC was doing was as per the Constitution and claimed that parties like TMC were objecting because they are afraid of losing Rohingya votes. Here's how the war of words played out.
और इसके पीछे कोई साजिश दिखाई पड़ रही है। अब जबकि 3 महीना चुनाव में बचा है, तब ये इलेक्शन कमीशन की आंख खुली है।
All Indians are safe under the hand of the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. She is trying to save Rohingya Musliman.
क्या उसी सूची के आधार पर बनी सरकार की वैधता पर सवाल नहीं उठता? और चुनाव से ठीक पहले ये निर्णय क्या सही है?
Whatever the ECI is doing is absolutely constitutional and within the rights of ECI. And what she's scared of, that if the voter list verification turns out to be all the fake voters or the Bangladeshi voters or the Rohingya voters, what she has made, will be deleted.
Let's take this across to our guest. Shazia Ilmi is national spokesperson of BJP. Ishkaran Bhandari is advocate of Supreme Court. Tehseen Poonawala is a political analyst. We also have advocate Niladri Bhattacharya, political analyst. Priyanka Bharti is national spokesperson of the RJD. Priyanka Bharti, what's the real fear? The fear that, the voters may change if there are genuine voters that are coming in. If this has happened for the last time in Bihar in the year 2003, then in the year 2025, why are we having a controversy about why this intensive revision is being done?
First of all, if you talk about problems, Gyanesh Kumar worked under Amit Shah, so his validity is questioned. And when he has brought such...
Ma'am, he is now the CEC of the country.
Why are you raising your fingers? Obviously, it's questioned because he worked
No, one second. So every official, according to you, every official who has worked either under the Prime Minister or under the Home Minister, that person's decisions you will question because they have just worked with the Prime Minister. So that is not something that's acceptable.
Election Commission of India, that should be neutral. So a person working under Amit Shah would be also under his influence. Now let's talk about facts.
Ma'am, how many, once again, let me now apply the same yardstick to the CECs who are appointed during the UPA regime. By your yardstick, at least half of them are ineligible to have even conducted elections, madam.
You see, the mindset with which EC is working right now, that is questionable, because the rules they have made, I'll just read it out.
Ma'am, simple point. If you are making such an argument, Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav was very much part of the UPA 1 government. He was a railway minister. During that time, all of those election commissioners, they would have all have been questionable. So let's make arguments which are applicable to the time that your party was in rule as well. That's all I'm saying.
But was the voting rights of OBCs and SCs in danger that time? Right now.
How are they in danger now?
It is because you are asking them for their caste certificate, their 10th certificate, and not that to the people directly. You are asking their parents. You see, the National Family Health Survey data says that 2.8% of children only born from 2001 to 2005 have birth certificates. Now you are asking birth certificates for their parents. Do you see the logic here, how illogical it is? And apart from that, it's IHDS data which says that only 20% of SCs have caste certificate, 25% of OBCs has caste certificate. So how are you asking them to go back and bring the certificates of their father and mother?
Okay. It's impractical. A large section of the population doesn't even have these certificates which are being asked for, and therefore it is bound to be controversial. Shazia Ilmi, please respond to the RJD spokesperson.
Yes, Madhav, please give me some time, because I really want to talk logically, because since the earlier speakers spoke about logic or lack of it, let me bring in logically and return the favor to her by using the same logic that she used. MS Gill, have you heard of MS Gill, ma'am? Who was MS Gill? He joined Congress soon after retiring, CEC, elected to Rajya Sabhas 2004-2016, and served as Union Minister for Youth Affairs 2009 to 11, and also held the whole program of statistics and program implementation 2011 under UPA. TN Session, after tenure, contested a 96 Congress ticket against BJP's LK Advani. GM Lingdo, 2001 to 2004. Listen to me, ma'am.
Listen, ma'am, you have raised the question. This is exactly the problem. One second. This is exactly the problem. If you don't think out your arguments, then you have to listen to the other side, because you have made a set of arguments. Please listen to the other side.
Yeah, and because you did not listen, I will repeat. So MS Gill is who I talked about, who became not just a Rajya Sabha member, but a minister. And now I talked about TN Session, and now I'm talking about JM Lingdo, who joined the Congress-affiliated NGOs, and we know a little something about that, and worked on internal reforms. Whether it's KV Sundaram, who was CEC 58 to 67, who became chair of Law Commission and got a Padma Bhushan after retirement, or Nagendra Singh, who was CEC 72 to 73, who got Padma Bhushan also after he retired, or RK Trivedi, who was CEC 82 to 85, who was awarded with governorship and a Padma Bhushan, or V.S. Ramadevi, who was CEC 1990, who was made the governor and was awarded for whatever he did to the Congress party and UPA, so to speak. And N. Gopalaswamy, who was a CEC 2006-2000, was given a Padma Bhushan. Now tell me, ma'am, all these chief election officers, commissioners, after they remitted their work and their tenures as CECs, why were they made ministers? Why were they given Rajya Sabhas? Why were they given Padma Bhushans? Why were they given governorships? What exactly did they do for Congress party or your party, ma'am, that they were awarded this?
Respond, Priyanka, respond. Quick response. Once again, quick response, then I move on to others. Let's quickly move on. This is not the topic of discussion. Topic is Bihar and the electoral roll, but quick responses, you raise this point. Priyanka Bharti, respond to Shazia Ilmi.
And you must answer this.
First of all, Shazia Ilmi had to read the script out because she herself is not aware what to say. Secondly, when we question the EC, there should be a member of Election Commission.
Counter her on facts, please. Let's not get personal. Let's not get personal, Priyanka Bharti. It doesn't help the discussion. It doesn't help the discussion. It doesn't help your argument either. If she's factually wrong, please correct her.
No, is BJP spokesperson entitled to speak on behalf of EC? Is EC functioning like BJP or BJP functioning like EC? People will question, no.
Madam, if you are questioning the track record of EC during the BJP, she is questioning the track record of EC during Congress and UPA's tenure. Please answer the questions.
But she cannot utter the name Gyanesh Kumar. Naukri khatre mein aa jayegi. That is why. Because she cannot utter why Gyanesh Kumar.
So are you admitting the election commission under the UPA was acting as per the political directions? Are you admitting that? Are you admitting that on national television? Yes or no?
I am admitting that the voting rights of SC, ST, OBCs are under threat during this BJP regime and ECI.
Okay.
Because of the documents which they have asked, which the OBCs...
You started off with working under certain political leaders, and now you have shifted to that. But quick response, Shazia, then I move on to others. Quick response.
No, I think whether I read or don't or remember, the fact is that we have to speak factually. We can talk about rhetoric. Here we're making an argument. Now here a serious charge has been made. But when you look at these internal revisions, that is the prerogative of every election commission. All kinds of things happen. Their deaths, their migrations, and all kinds of changes. There are systems that are done. So to say it's happening 2 months before is an admission of defeat. So I think the lady here cries in the shrill manner. Why? Because she knows her party is losing out. So you're already preparing the ground, my dear friend. Otherwise, you would have had something solid to say, something real to say.
Let me bring in some of the other panelists, please. Tehseen, just listen to my question. This is what the Election Commission has stated on record, and you can respond to this. 2 sentences.
Sure.
Various reasons, such as rapid urbanization, frequent migration, young citizens becoming eligible to vote, non-reporting of deaths and inclusion of the names of foreign illegal immigrants have necessitated the conduct of an intensive revision so as to ensure integrity and preparation of error-free electoral rolls. This is what the Election Commission is saying. Can you argue with any of these points?
Thank you, Madhav, for having me on the show. Absolute rubbish that they're talking. Please allow me to articulate my point of view. You're doing this 2 months before the Bihar elections. 7.73 crore potential voters, approximately plus minus 7.73 is what the figure we're giving. How are you going to do this in 1 month? It was done earlier. I completely admit to that. How long ago was it done before the Bihar election? It was done 1 year before. Are people suddenly migrating, growing 18, have passed away? That the Bihar, last month that the election commission has woken up right now? Number 2. Please understand, Bihar has the highest migration out of Bihar and people come back to vote. Now you're going to inconvenience people who have gone out to work, or if they come back, they're going to lose their livelihood, or if they don't come back, they're going to be excluded. Third point, you will appreciate, Madhav, that there are massive floods in Bihar, and every year during this particular season, particularly the Nepal areas, etc., with bordering Nepal, a lot of people migrate to other places because of the floods that come in. 20 years BJP is in government, I'm not getting to that, but there is a natural problem. People leave their villages and go, and you've covered this, Madhav. How are those people going to now come get documents and do it? This realization dawned upon the wise election commission in the monsoon months, 2 months before the election. Couldn't this exercise have been done last year, 6 months ago, 8 months ago? I am therefore telling you, Madhav, and I'll end here. This is actually an exclusion method, but one line. The BJP is saying that this is an NRC because of Rohingya and Bangladeshis. Let me accept what the BJP is saying. Priyanka Ji, please tell me, who guards the borders of our country? Whose tenures guarding it? If Rohingyas and Bangladeshis are here, 2 months before the election...
We'll come to that. We'll come to the point of Rohingyas. Once again, just let's go one by one. Let's not have too many points at the same time. Let me get in, Ishkaran, on the point that you made of the timing. The point being made by Tehseen is that why is this happening 2 months before the polls? Ishkaran, he says that in 2003, it happened at least a year before the elections were to be done. Now it is just being done, that too in the monsoon season, where a large section of the population may actually lose their, documents for genuine reasons, for natural reasons. Ishkaran.
Madhav, I am a strong believer that every eligible voter must be able to cast his vote. But legally, that has 2 aspects. It should be eligible voters only. What if ineligible voters, what if illegal immigrants, they are casting a vote? That also destroys our democracy, hollows it out from within. Now, the risk of illegal immigration has been well documented. For example, in Operation Sindoor, it came out how many undocumented people, not only from Bangladesh, surprisingly from even Pakistan, are living inside Bharat, have even married people in government jobs, have been living here for decades, have kids there. There was a family which came in, which had almost a 100-member family, which had come from Pakistan, I think in Uttar Pradesh, if I recall correctly. So should that family or any such family who is illegally in India be allowed to vote? Will that be a fair and free election? So it has two components to it. Nobody should be, who is eligible to vote, be excluded, but nobody be voting who should not be allowed to vote. Now the second aspect, allegations are daily cast on every institution in India. That has become a new politics. If you cannot win election, cast allegations. The third aspect, what the election commission is doing. Of course, I don't think so. It should be done 2 months before an election. That will open difficulty, but we do not know what is the methodology involved. I'll have to go through the fine print of what is the method, what are the documents being sought, what is not being sought, to be able to say what is required, how dramatic is the change going to be. And I'm sure everybody will go to court. So while everybody is shouting here, everybody will go to court. And if the method followed by EC is not appropriate, the courts will pass appropriate orders. But to cast aspersions without knowing the details is also to protect illegal vote banks in India, which have come out after Operation Sindoor. And after that knowledge has come in, should Election Commission not do it? Of course it should do it.
Okay. Respond to that, Advocate Niladri Bhattacharya. It's ultimately about vote bank politics. That's what has several political parties up in arms, including perhaps the West Bengal Chief Minister and other opposition parties. And of course, we've seen the charges being made by certain BJP leaders that this is ultimately about quote-unquote Rohingya votes. Please respond.
Yeah, Madhav, see, actually why this problem has arisen is in NRC in Assam, which was a Supreme Court monitored exercise, we have seen that the government has asked for legacy documents. Now, what are these legacy documents? I have to give my birth certificate and my parents will also have to give their birth certificate. We call them the legacy documents. And in Assam NRC, what we have seen is that at the end of this exercise, spending so much amount of money with a good methodology of research, Supreme Court monitor, ultimately 19 lakh Hindus were only excluded from the list. We could not oust a single Bangladeshi or a Rohingya, as quote unquote we call it. We could not see that. Ultimately, it was the Bengali Hindus who got out of the NRC. Now, by this process, this government aims to bring in NRC in Bengal, where we have absolutely objected that NRC is not necessary in Bengal. If I am giving my birth certificate, if I have an Aadhaar card, if I have a ration card, then why does my parents will have to give that? And the time period is very important. From people born between 1987 and 2004. So that means their parents who have been born and brought up in the 60s or the 70s, they may or may not have the birth certificate. They may not have the legacy documents. Now, this is just a ruse to deduct people or take out people from the voter roll and giving the genuine voters not a chance to vote.
Because NRC through the back door, that's what you're saying. It's being done through the aegis of the Election Commission and not as it was being done earlier. Respond to that. Ishkaran, respond.
Yes, 2 points. Firstly, NRC should be done through the front door. It is important for India, for national security. US to give visa is going to scrutinize, even though you will go there on a tourism visa to spend money or a student visa to spend money in their economy. Because nowadays illegal immigration is a threat. Forget this. What happened today in Malaysia? A Muslim majority country, they have arrested 36 illegal Bangladeshis saying they were involved in extremism, radicalism and were furthering the ISIS thought. That is the danger a Muslim majority country also faces. And in India, we are saying NRC is back door, front door. NRC should come through all doors, all windows. So everybody in India should be deported out.
Proper channels.
Should be deported out.
Bring it, but bring it to the proper channels. And Mr. Madhav,
that's what I'm saying. It should come through all channels. We need to. Why do you want to defend this? I'm happy that you're supporting it. I'm happy you're supporting NRC.
Ruled by BJP in BJP states, taking in people, Bengali people, inhabitants of this country, and pushing them to Bangladesh. And then
Is that factually correct, Ishkaran? Quick response, almost out of time.
That is absolutely incorrect. No Indian of any state, any caste, any religion can be thrown out. But we have to ascertain by documents, and there is no legacy. We are not USA. If you are born in India, you don't automatically get a citizenship. You have to show how you became a citizen as per the laws of India.
Okay. Completely out of time. Here, Shazia Ilmi, Ishkaran Bhandari, Tehseen Poonawala, Advocate Niladri Bhattacharya, Priyanka Bharti. We certainly have not heard the last word yet on this. The elections are only going to come. There is Bihar and there is next year Bengal. And both these states, this is certainly going to be a sensitive issue, the manner in which the political fight we are seeing today. Thanks so much for joining us. Slipping into a very quick break.